Hi there, I am Becky Amble and I want to share something with you, an AI tip, and it is about Claude and using Claude projects. Now, some of you have probably used things like the GPT feature, the custom GPT on Chat GPT. Well, Claude has something called projects that really works pretty similarly. So we're going to take a look at that right now. Hold on a minute and we will share the screen. All righty, I think we are all here. So let's take a look at what I've got for you. And I just thought I would share with you that I used four different AI tools to put this together because, for one thing, Claude has not been updated on its training, so it does not actually have the most current information available on the regular Claude AI as far as how projects work. And also, Claude was having some issues with artifacts and was not able to put together a presentation when I had my information together. So you just never know what you're going to run into, and you have to be flexible and know what your options are as far as getting things done. So let's take a look at Claude projects. And this is referred to as your AI workspace. And it's a way to keep your work organized based on topics or clients or just calling it a project, and it keeps it in one place, so it's a great tool to use. Let's talk about what it is a little bit. And so it can keep files, instructions, conversations, books, PowerPoints, blogs, all of that together in one place. So it's a good tool and it's an organization tool. So there's three core pieces to it. There's the product knowledge, which allows you to give it information about what you're putting into the project, and custom instructions, so you get to tell it exactly how you want it to respond and act. And conversations, again, it's going to take the knowledge that you give it and keep that in one place. Let's talk a little bit more. Let me move this. And what happens is then you're going to save some time instead of repeating things over and over like you would do in a prompt where you say, hey, I want to do a LinkedIn post and do this and this and this and so on. Now you have it put together in a project, which again, if you've done any custom GPTs in chat, which came out so long ago that most of us probably have done some of that, you probably have an idea, and that's similar to how projects work. So in the end, you can see here, you do less typing, you have more consistent output, and you get your work done faster. And steps 1 and 2, I'm going to detail here. You want to access projects in your Claude AI, and then you're going to create the project. And I have a little bit more detail on that in a step fashion. So let's take a look at some practical use cases, and then we will come back to how you get there. So some practical use cases are using it for client engagement. So if you've got client A and you want to keep things organized, you put a lot of that information and files together, and you're going to also find it useful if you've got any research that you do repeatedly, or let's say that you have writing for LinkedIn or an article or newsletter or something that you're doing that is kind of in that repetitive fashion, needing the same kind of structure. And as far as your communications, it can help you keep your brand voice consistent and make sure when you are putting out things in a communication type of uh, whatever you're doing, like a blog or an article or a post or something like that, it helps everything stay consistent and on brand. And also, you get to share your knowledge base with the team so they will have access to this information. Back to our steps. Let's get through that. You saw the other diagram that kind of goes like I don't know, a map. Anyway, so the first step is to access the project section in Claude. So go to claude.ai or however you find it on your computer. And on the left side navigation panel, click on projects. Or you can go directly to it if you do claude.ai/projects. And this is available on the free version of Claude. And there are some limits, as you've probably learned if you do have a free account. So you are able to do 5 of these think it's per month. Well, the limit is 5 in some time period. Okay, so let's create a new project. Now you've found this over on the left. Now you're going to click in on the add new project button, and that'll be in the low or the upper right corner of that screen that you're on. And then give your project a name and a brief description or summary. Third step is set the project instructions. So you want to set the instructions and write exactly how you want it to behave. And what we mean by behaving is you can see over in the lower left there that you tell it what style kind of to write in. So write in a concise technical tone, avoid corporate jargon, write in my voice, whatever it is, you're going to tell it how to do that. And keep your instructions behavioral, as we said here, not what is called factual, not data, and keep it under 2 paragraphs if you can. And then move on. Step 4 is upload the knowledge base. So that's where if you have other writing you've done, blogs you've done, books you've written, any kind of knowledge base that you have, and you can see here, you can do PDF, style guides. It takes it in a variety of fashions. There is a little tip if you're doing anything in a spreadsheet, convert it to CVS files because that is what Claude likes better. And if you're in an Excel file and you're doing save it, there's a save as or save, and you can go select CSV. So that's just real simple. You just need to know that that works better. And then it can use RAG, retrieval augmented generation, if you have a paid plan. And that can give you some more options and work better as well. So best practices, let's talk about that. And like I said, since Claude is having a hiccup today and not quite working in all areas, we can't walk through an actual demo. So keep in mind your best practices. Keep your knowledge current. So if you're doing something and things change, hey, go in and update that. Keep it current. Or if it's something that you're doing with a client or whatever, if things have changed, go in and update that. Write clear instructions. So again, you want to be really clear, write in this manner, write so it sounds like me, write in a professional tone, write at this certain grade level. You tell it what you want it to use for the writing style. And then one project per client or topic. So it's a good idea to not put a whole lot of disparate different things in one project. So keep it nice and clean. And to learn more about this, and frankly, Gemini is a great resource because it does have a better access to current information, just in case you wanted to know. So take a look at what the limitations are in using this. And you can find out information at support.claude.com. And hopefully that's going to be updated. And you know how all of these are changing so quickly that everything I'm telling you hopefully is current, because it can even have changed since since I'm doing this presentation for you. That is what I have for you. Take a look at Claude Projects. I think you'll find it to be a useful tool, and it takes a little work to prep it and get it all organized. And once it's done, you're going to save a lot of time when you have something else come up that you can use this information for and this process. So let me know if you get a chance to use this and what you think about it. Hopefully it'll work out well for you and you won't have any snags. Again, all of this changes almost daily. So if something seems a little bit different, it might be, and you might be right on track. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.